My brothers and sisters, hear this truth today. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Not everyone around you is leading you toward your destiny. Some people are distractions, some are deceivers, and some are sent to pull you away from your purpose. You must open your eyes and recognize the weight that is slowing you down. There are people in your life who drain your spirit, who fill your mind with doubt, who speak against your growth. These are not the ones sent to build you up. They're the ones keeping you in chains. You must make a choice. Will you continue to hold on to those who pull you backward, or will you rise and step into the future that has been prepared for you? You cannot soar if you are surrounded by those who keep you crawling. You cannot find peace if you are surrounded by those who thrive on chaos. Separate yourself from what is toxic. The wise do not walk with the foolish. The strong do not bind themselves to the weak-hearted. The faithful do not sit in the company of those who mock the truth. If someone is leading you into darkness, it is time to step into the light and leave them behind. This is not selfish. This is obedience. Focusing on yourself does not mean ignoring others. It means strengthening yourself so you can fulfill your calling. It means guarding your heart, renewing your mind, and walking in wisdom. When you remove the wrong people, you make space for the right ones. When you let go of what drains you, you make room for what restores you. So today, stand firm. Cut off what is poisoning your spirit. Step away from those who do not honor your growth. Focus on yourself, not for pride, but for purpose. For when you walk the right path, you will be a light for many. Rise up and move forward. The time is now. Amen. There are moments in life when we must stop and take a hard look at the people around us. Not everyone who starts the journey with you is meant to finish it. Some are there for a season, some for a lesson, and some are meant to be removed entirely. Holding on to the wrong people will weigh you down, delay your progress, and in some cases, completely derail your destiny. People come into our lives for different reasons, but not all of them are assigned to our purpose. Some people are drawn to you because of what they can take, not because of what they can give. They are not interested in your growth, your peace, or your future. They are only interested in what benefits them. These people will drain you emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. They will fill your life with unnecessary distractions, leading you further away from where you are supposed to be. It is easy to assume that because someone has been in your life for a long time, they should remain there. But longevity does not equal loyalty, and history does not guarantee destiny. Some people have been attached to you for years, yet they have never truly supported your vision. They smile in your face but secretly resent your growth. They pretend to celebrate you, but deep down they hope you never rise above them. When you begin to recognize these patterns, it is a sign that it is time to move on. Letting go is not always easy. The heart often clings to familiar faces, even when those faces no longer serve a purpose in our lives. The fear of being alone can keep people trapped in toxic relationships and unhealthy friendships. But what is the cost of keeping someone who is not meant to walk with you? How much peace, joy, and clarity are you willing to sacrifice for the sake of companionship? Walking with the wrong people will cost you more than walking alone. There are times when separation is necessary. Growth demands change, and change requires letting go of the things, habits, and people that no longer align with your purpose. Imagine a runner in a race carrying a heavy load on their back. No matter how strong or determined they are, the weight will slow them down. They may start off fast, but over time, the burden will exhaust them. The only way to reach the finish line is to drop the unnecessary weight. In the same way, the wrong people in your life act as dead weight, preventing you from running the race set before you. Some people are meant to stay behind. You may have started in the same place, but that does not mean you are meant to finish together. Elevation requires separation. When you are moving to a higher level, not everyone can come with you. Some will refuse to grow. Some will resist change. Some will mock your transformation because they want you to stay where they are. But you cannot afford to dim your light just to make others comfortable. One of the hardest truths to accept is that some people are seasonal. They were never meant to stay forever, but only for a short time. When their season in your life is over, trying to hold on to them will only bring frustration. It is like trying to wear clothes that no longer fit. They may have served you well in the past, but now they are too small, too tight, and no longer suitable for where you are going. Instead of clinging to what no longer fits, it is time to step into something new. When you begin to focus on your growth, you will notice that not everyone will celebrate you. There will be people who will misunderstand you. They will question why you are changing, why you are no longer engaging in the same conversations, why you no longer tolerate the things you once did. They will try to guilt trip you into staying the same, telling you that you have changed, as if it were a bad thing. But change is necessary for growth. Remaining stagnant just to keep certain people in your life is a disservice to yourself and your purpose. You cannot help everyone. It is noble to want to bring people with you, to lift them up, to encourage them to grow alongside you. But the painful truth is that not everyone wants to be helped. Some people are comfortable in their dysfunction. They enjoy gossip, negativity, and drama. They thrive in confusion and disorder. No matter how much you try to pull them into the light, they will resist. And in the process, they may try to pull you back into the darkness with them. You must guard your energy, your mind, and your spirit. Be mindful of the company you keep, because the people around you will influence your thoughts, your actions, and your future. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, who push you toward greatness. Walk with those who remind you of your purpose, who encourage you to stay on the right path, and who bring peace instead of chaos. The wrong people will keep you bound in cycles of frustration, fear, and stagnation. They will make you doubt yourself, second-guess your decisions, and question your worth. They will discourage your dreams and try to convince you that you are not capable of achieving more. They will remind you of your past mistakes, hoping to keep you trapped in guilt and regret. But you must recognize these tactics for what they are: distractions meant to keep you from stepping into your destiny. When you begin to remove the wrong people, you will feel a sense of freedom. Your mind will become clearer, your spirit will feel lighter, and your vision will become sharper. The weight you once carried will be lifted, and you will begin to move forward with confidence and purpose. New doors will open, and the right people will begin to enter your life. People who align with your purpose, who uplift and support you, who celebrate your victories instead of resenting them. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some people were only meant to teach you a lesson and then leave. Some were meant to show you what to avoid. Some were there to push you toward growth, but they cannot go any further with you. Recognizing this truth will save you from unnecessary pain and disappointment. Instead of mourning what was lost, embrace what is coming. Instead of holding on to what no longer serves you, open your hands to receive what is meant for you. Walking alone for a season is better than walking with the wrong crowd for a lifetime. Growth requires solitude at times. There will be moments when you must walk a path that others do not understand. You may be misunderstood, ridiculed, or even abandoned, but do not let that stop you. Stay focused on your journey. Stay committed to your purpose. The right people will find you at the right time, but until then, keep walking forward, unshaken and undeterred. There comes a time in life when you must take a step back and evaluate the people, environments, and habits that surround you. Not everything that is familiar is beneficial. Not everyone who smiles at you has your best interests at heart. Some connections are disguised as friendships, but are actually chains keeping you bound in cycles of pain, confusion, and stagnation. The longer you stay connected to toxic influences, the harder it becomes to recognize their impact. But make no mistake, what surrounds you will shape you. And if you are constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, and deception, it will begin to take root in your spirit. Toxic influences come in many forms. Sometimes they look like friendships that drain you more than they uplift you. Other times they appear as relationships that keep you tied to a version of yourself that you are trying to outgrow. They can even come in the form of your own habits, thoughts, and environments. Places that pull you into situations that do not align with the purpose set before you. These influences may seem small at first, but over time they can corrupt your peace, steal your joy, and make you question your worth. One of the most dangerous effects of toxic influences is how they deceive you into believing they are normal. When you are constantly exposed to something, it starts to feel natural, even if it is harmful. You may begin to excuse the behavior of those around you, convincing yourself that this is just how life is, or this is just how people are. But deep down, you know that certain relationships leave you feeling drained instead of fulfilled. You know that certain environments fill you with stress instead of peace. You know that certain habits are leading you down a path of destruction instead of growth. The longer you ignore these signs, the more power they gain over you. There are people in your life who were never meant to stay, yet you continue to hold on to them because of history, obligation, or fear of being alone. You convince yourself that you can handle the negativity, that you can endure the pain, that you can change them. But the truth is, some people are not meant to be changed by you. Some people are not meant to continue on the journey with you. When you hold on to toxic connections, you allow them to drain your energy, distort your vision, and delay your progress. You cannot move forward while clinging to what is pulling you backward. Toxic influences can come disguised as friendships, but real friends do not manipulate you. They do not tear you down, gossip about you, or secretly hope for your failure. Real friends celebrate your growth, encourage your success, and stand by you in truth. If someone in your life is constantly filling your mind with doubt, criticizing your every move, or leading you into situations that compromise your values, it is time to reevaluate that connection. It does not matter how long you have known them. If their presence in your life is doing more harm than good, it is time to let them go. Some people stay in toxic relationships because they fear being alone. They believe that having a negative companion is better than having no companion at all. But loneliness is not found in being alone. Loneliness is found in being surrounded by people who do not truly care for you. It is better to walk alone in truth than to walk with many in deception. When you remove toxic influences, you may go through a season of solitude, but do not fear it. That is the season where you grow stronger, where you rediscover your purpose, where you heal from the damage that toxic people have caused. Toxic influences can also come in the form of environments. Where you choose to spend your time matters. If you are constantly in places that encourage temptation, gossip, negativity, or deceit, it will begin to affect you whether you realize it or not. The people you surround yourself with, the conversations you engage in, and the activities you participate in will either push you toward your purpose or pull you away from it. If you are serious about growth, you must be intentional about where you allow yourself to be. You cannot expect to elevate your life while staying in environments that are keeping you stagnant. Sometimes the toxic influence is not a person or a place, it is a habit. The things you entertain daily, the thoughts you dwell on, and the patterns you repeat all shape your future. If you constantly fill your mind with negativity, fear, and self-doubt, you will struggle to move forward. If you continue engaging in habits that bring temporary pleasure but long-term destruction, you will remain stuck in cycles of frustration. You cannot expect to rise while holding on to things that are weighing you down. Change starts with the decision to separate yourself from anything that does not align with where you are called to be. The process of separating yourself from toxic influences is not always easy. Some people will not understand your decision. Some will criticize you, call you selfish, or accuse you of thinking you are better than them. They will try to guilt-trip you into staying in unhealthy relationships, into tolerating disrespect, into remaining in environments that no longer serve you. But you must remember, your growth is not dependent on their approval. You were not created to live in the shadows of other people's expectations. You were created to walk in purpose, and that requires making bold decisions, even when others do not understand them. When you separate yourself from toxic influences, you create space for the right people, the right opportunities, and the right direction. You begin to see life more clearly. The weight that once held you down is lifted, and you find a renewed sense of strength and confidence. The peace that you were searching for begins to settle in your heart, and you start to realize that what you once feared losing was never truly meant for you in the first place. Some people will try to return once they see you thriving without them. Toxic influences often try to re-enter your life when they realize they no longer have control over you. They will come with apologies, with excuses, with promises to change. But you must discern whether their return is genuine or simply an attempt to pull you back into the same cycle. Growth means recognizing patterns and refusing to repeat them. Just because someone asks for another chance does not mean they have earned it. Separating yourself from toxic influences is not just about removing negativity. It is about making room for what is good, pure, and purposeful. It is about protecting your peace, guarding your heart, and staying committed to the path set before you. It is about recognizing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less than what aligns with your purpose. It is about stepping into a future that is free from the burdens of the past and walking with confidence, knowing that you are on the right path. There comes a time in life when you must shift your focus inward, not out of selfishness, but out of necessity. The world will always demand your attention. People will always have expectations, opinions, and desires for your life. But if you spend all your time trying to meet their demands, you will lose yourself in the process. Focusing on yourself is not about neglecting others or ignoring responsibilities. It is about making sure that you are strong, whole, and aligned with your purpose before pouring into everything and everyone else. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot lead if you are lost. You cannot heal others if you are broken inside. Many people feel guilty for prioritizing themselves because they have been taught that selflessness means sacrificing their well-being for the sake of others. While serving and loving others is important, it should never come at the cost of your own peace, health, or purpose. Pouring from an empty cup does not help anyone. When you neglect yourself, when you ignore your own growth, when you allow your energy to be drained without replenishment, you are not truly serving anyone. You are simply running yourself into exhaustion. True impact comes from a place of strength, clarity, and purpose. And to achieve that, you must first focus on yourself. There is a reason why seasons of isolation are often necessary before seasons of elevation. When you focus on yourself, you begin to see things clearly. You recognize what is working in your life and what is not. You identify habits, relationships, and mindsets that need to change. You become more aware of what fuels your spirit and what drains it. In this process, you gain wisdom, discipline, and resilience, all of which are necessary for fulfilling your calling. Without taking the time to work on yourself, you will continue to fall into the same patterns, face the same struggles, and wonder why nothing is changing. But change starts with you. Focusing on yourself means taking accountability for your growth. It means recognizing that no one else is responsible for your happiness, your success, or your peace. It is easy to blame circumstances, people, or the past for where you are in life. But true transformation happens when you decide to take ownership of your future. It requires discipline, consistency, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. Growth is not always comfortable, and it often requires difficult decisions. But nothing great is built without effort, and the life you desire will not come to you by accident. It must be pursued with intention. One of the biggest obstacles to focusing on yourself is the fear of what others will think. Society often associates self-prioritization with selfishness, as if taking care of your own needs somehow diminishes your love for others. But focusing on yourself does not mean disregarding others. It means becoming the best version of yourself, so that you can show up fully in every area of your life. It means setting boundaries with people who drain you. It means choosing relationships that uplift rather than deplete. It means saying no to things that no longer align with your vision, even if others do not understand. There will always be people who try to make you feel guilty for putting yourself first. They will say you have changed. They will question your choices. They will try to pull you back into old habits, old mindsets, and old environments that no longer serve you. But you cannot let their opinions dictate your growth. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. When you are focused on yourself and your purpose, you will naturally outgrow certain people and situations. That is not a loss. It is a sign of progress. Not everyone is meant to go where you are going, and that is okay. The journey of self-focus also requires self-discipline. It is not just about removing distractions, it is about intentionally building habits that align with your vision. It means making time for self-reflection, for learning, for developing the skills and mindset necessary to walk in your purpose. It means being mindful of what you consume, mentally, physically, and emotionally. It means choosing growth over comfort, progress over complacency, and truth over convenience. Every choice you make either moves you closer to your purpose or further from it. The more intentional you become, the more you will see your life begin to align with the direction you were meant to go. Many people spend their lives waiting for someone else to push them forward, to validate their journey, or to give them permission to pursue their dreams. But waiting for external validation will only keep you stuck. You must be willing to move forward even when no one is cheering you on. You must be willing to work on yourself even when no one is watching. Growth is a personal journey, and no one can do it for you. The sooner you realize that your progress is in your hands, the sooner you will begin to see transformation. Focusing on yourself also means letting go of comparison. Too often people waste energy looking at others, measuring their progress against someone else's timeline and feeling discouraged because they think they are behind. But comparison is a thief. It robs you of gratitude, of confidence, and of the ability to appreciate your own journey. You are not in competition with anyone else. Your path is unique. Your process is your own, and as long as you are growing, you are exactly where you need to be. Instead of focusing on what others are doing, focus on becoming better than you were yesterday. There will be moments in this journey when you feel alone. When you choose to focus on yourself, you may have to walk away from certain friendships, environments, or habits that once felt comfortable. The transition is not always easy, but it is always necessary. It is in these moments of solitude that you develop inner strength. You learn to rely not on external validation, but on your own sense of purpose. You become more confident in your decisions, more certain of your direction, and more at peace with who you are becoming. Every great achievement begins with a decision to focus. Whether it is personal growth, career success, or spiritual fulfillment, it all starts with a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. It requires dedication, patience, and resilience. There will be setbacks. There will be days when doubt creeps in. But as long as you remain focused, as long as you continue to push forward, you will see the results of your efforts. Growth does not happen overnight, but every small step you take adds up to a greater transformation. Some people will not understand your journey, and that is okay. You are not here to seek approval. You are here to fulfill a purpose. The more you focus on yourself, the clearer your path becomes. You begin to attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right direction. Your energy shifts, your mindset strengthens, and you walk with a confidence that cannot be shaken. When you truly commit to focusing on yourself, you will look back and realize that every challenge, every sacrifice, and every moment of discomfort was leading you towards something greater. Letting go is one of the hardest but most necessary things in life. It is difficult to release what is familiar, even when it no longer serves you. People hold on to relationships, friendships, and connections because they fear the unknown. They convince themselves that it is better to stay in a situation that is comfortable than to step into the uncertainty of something new. But what if holding on is the very thing blocking what is truly meant for you? What if the fear of letting go is keeping you stuck in a place where you were never meant to remain? There are people in your life who were meant to be temporary, but because of attachment, history, or fear, you have allowed them to stay longer than they should. They have already fulfilled their purpose in your life, yet you continue to hold on to them, hoping they will change, hoping the situation will improve, hoping that things will go back to how they once were. But not everything is meant to be restored. Some things are meant to be released. The longer you hold on to the wrong people, the longer you delay the arrival of the right people. Letting go does not mean you do not care. It does not mean you are bitter or that you wish harm upon those you release. It simply means you recognize that some people are not meant to walk with you into the next season of your life. Not everyone is aligned with your purpose. Not everyone is meant to understand your vision. Not everyone is capable of loving, supporting, or respecting you in the way you deserve. When you refuse to let go of what is wrong for you, you are blocking what is right for you. Some people drain you more than they uplift you. You find yourself constantly giving, constantly adjusting, constantly shrinking yourself to make them comfortable. You pour out your energy, your time, and your love, yet you receive little in return. These are not the right people for you. The right people do not take advantage of you. The right people do not manipulate you, belittle you, or make you feel like you are not enough. The right people encourage your growth, respect your boundaries, and bring peace instead of chaos. Letting go requires trust. It requires believing that what is ahead of you is greater than what you are leaving behind. It requires trusting that when you release the wrong people, the right ones will enter your life at the right time. But too many people hold on to toxic relationships because they do not believe something better is possible. They settle for mistreatment because they have convinced themselves that this is the best they will ever have. But settling is not the same as being blessed. Just because something is familiar does not mean it is right. People will come and go, and not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some were only meant to teach you a lesson. Some were meant to show you what you do not want in your life. Some were meant to push you toward growth by revealing what you need to change within yourself. And once their purpose has been fulfilled, they must leave. If you try to hold on to what is meant to go, you will only experience frustration, pain, and disappointment. Letting go is not just about people, it is about mindsets, habits, and environments that no longer align with who you are becoming. There are habits that once felt normal but are now hindering your progress. There are environments that once felt like home but are now suffocating your potential. Growth requires change, and change requires the courage to let go. If you refuse to release what no longer serves you, you will find yourself stuck in cycles that lead nowhere. You cannot step into a new season while holding on to things that belong to the past. It is normal to feel a sense of loss when letting go. Even toxic relationships provide a sense of familiarity, and the thought of walking away can feel overwhelming. But you must ask yourself, is holding on worth the cost? Is staying in a place of frustration, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion better than walking into a future of peace, clarity, and purpose? The right people cannot come into your life while the wrong ones are occupying their space. You must make room for what is truly meant for you. The fear of loneliness keeps many people from letting go. They would rather keep toxic relationships than face the possibility of being alone. But loneliness is not the absence of people, it is the absence of true connection. You can be surrounded by many people and still feel empty. You can have countless acquaintances and still feel unseen, unheard, and unloved. The right people will never make you feel invisible. The right people will not force you to question your worth. The right people will bring genuine love, respect, and understanding into your life. When you finally let go of what is not meant for you, you will feel a weight lifted off your shoulders. The stress, the emotional exhaustion, the frustration that came from forcing something that was never right for you will begin to fade. You will feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. You will begin to see things clearly. You will realize that the people and situations you were holding on to were actually holding you back. And once you release them, you create space for the right people to enter. The right people will come into your life when you are ready to receive them. But you must be willing to let go of what is blocking them. You must be willing to trust that separation is not rejection, it is protection. You must believe that removing the wrong people is not a loss, it is preparation for something greater. The right people will align with your purpose. They will speak life into you. They will challenge you to grow in the best way possible. They will see your worth without you having to prove it. Too often, people delay their blessings because they are afraid to walk away from what is familiar. They remain in toxic friendships because they do not want to hurt anyone's feelings. They stay in unfulfilling relationships because they have invested too much time. They keep entertaining people who have repeatedly shown that they do not value them. But the truth is, holding on to the wrong people is far more damaging than letting them go. Time does not equal purpose. History does not mean destiny. Just because someone has been in your life for a long time does not mean they are meant to stay. Letting go requires strength. It requires you to choose your peace over your past, your future over your fears, your growth over your guilt. It requires faith in what is to come rather than clinging to what is fading away. It requires trust in the process, even when you do not understand it. Some doors must close so that better ones can open. Some relationships must end so that greater ones can begin. Some seasons must shift so that new opportunities can arise. When you finally choose to let go, you will realize that what you feared losing was never truly meant for you. You will look back and wonder why you held on for so long. You will see how much lighter you feel, how much clearer your mind is, how much more open your heart is to receiving what is truly meant for you. The pain of letting go is temporary, but the reward of making space for the right people is everlasting. The right people will come when the wrong ones leave. The right people will see you, appreciate you, and walk with you in purpose. But first, you must be willing to make room.